Welcome back everyone, Zaf here to yet another wonderful soul leveling rise video. For today's video, we're going to cover the new weapon, the Phoenix Soul Bow. It's going to be a fun time. We're going to compare it to other weapons, see what it's like, should you pull for it, should it be on your rate up list. So let's cover all those details, and I have to say, it seems that even Netmarble is infected by the virus as of late. The Zaf virus is going into full force here. Let's just say I made a special request to get some of these hunters in the lobby. I'm glad they added them in, because wow, oh wow, we're definitely having a good time. I even noticed that some content creators have caught the Zaf virus. We have individuals like Pain on their most recent video, covering the best changes to the game, and I tell you right now, they definitely caught the Zaf virus, as these comments indicate right here. Bro's been hanging out with Zaf a little too much, that's for sure. Pain got the Zaf virus. Jokes aside from the Zaf virus effect, Bro caught the Zaf virus, and so forth, the Zaf virus strikes again. So I'm sorry to say, Pain, you caught my virus, it's okay. It is a symbiotic relationship, the virus and us can live together. Don't worry, it is spreading fast, so I apologize to any viewers who are affected by the Zaf virus. Bro, Zaf corrupted you, sorry Pain. Looks like the virus got a hold of you, but that's okay.
That's the encouragement I get here from Daddy Zaf. Thanks, Dad. I appreciate that.
And on a side note, do not forget to support us on Netmarble Supporter Program. We are still ranked number 2. New codes are coming out, so make sure you're supporting. We have close to 8,000 supporters. That's gotta be a record. So thank you everyone for supporting the channel. And of course, congrats to Keen for being the first commenter on our last video. Here's your shout out, and enjoy your very exclusive Discord role, which will be refreshed very soon. So make sure, if you want that SSR role, you try to get the first commenter. I think I'm going to make a new role, either a legendary skill rune role, or maybe an S rank gate role. Let me know what you want down below in the comments. And I just noticed that even Rokage has caught the virus. It's been rough out there, folks. You can see from the comment section on that video, Pain, then Rokage. Oh man, the virus is spreading faster than it is infectious, I'll tell you what. I hope everyone's doing okay, because the virus is spreading. And also, just as a very side note, if you're still wondering which heroic rune or blessing stone to choose, I do have a video up, so do check that out. I do cover the best options here, so do give that a watch after this video. So let's just jump right into our weapons. Now, the Phoenix Bow is a very interesting weapon because it's basically self-sufficient. The effects it gets off buff itself and not our other weapons, so we can tell for a fact right now it'll pair with another weapon that can buff its own stats, so something like Grimoire wouldn't be a bad choice. You get that damage bonus effect from Deep Erosion, which will buff the bow even more. Phoenix Soul is a core attack focused weapon, which we can see right here. When Phoenix Rapid Fire is used, that being this skill right here, it inflicts the Firebird Soul effect, which is this effect right here, every 3rd, 6th, or 9th Pharaoh, and when the 3rd attack of the basic attack hits, it inflicts the Firebird Soul effect. So this is the effect here. The user's core attack changes to Flame Shot, increases Flame Shot damage by 70% per Firebird Soul instance we have, stacking up to 3 times, so a 210% bonus right there. And when you use Flame Shot, it consumes all the stacks, so right off the bat, we do use them quick, and we recharge them just as fast. A very nice ability. If we look at the A1 effect, it fills 34% of the user's core gauge every 3rd, 6th, 9th Pharaoh of Phoenix Rapid Fire. And let's just quickly preview Phoenix Rapid Fire, just to get a good sense of how many arrows it does shoot out. That's a lot. So we know for a fact our core attack will come up every single second at this rate. Maybe not every second, but it'll come up very often. So that's a pretty powerful effect right off the bat at A1. And at A2, just standard, fire damages increase. At A3 though, the last arrow of Phoenix Rapid Fire grants 2 instances of the Firebird Soul effect, and it also increases the max instance stack of Firebird Soul up to 4 instances. Wow, oh wow, we went from 210% damage all the way to 280%. Wow, oh wow. And also, don't forget, with the A3 bonus, we're getting 2 stacks now on the last arrow of Phoenix Rapid Fire, which is quite strong. And the A4 bonus is very standard, just a cooldown reduction of 20. We're used to seeing that. But A5 is where things get a little bit spicy. After obtaining Firebird Soul by using Phoenix Rapid Fire or the basic attack, the user regains the consumed Firebird Soul instances and 100% of their core gauge upon using Flame Shot. So not only do we get a damage bonus to our core attack, we can now stack faster, and then we get resets on top, activating our core attack again. So this is getting a little bit ridiculous. I really wonder how this goes into effect, but I can tell you right now, if you're pay to win, getting this bow to A5 is probably going to be vital. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly speaking, if this is the best weapon in the game right now. The A1 bonus is nice, A3 is good as well, but I feel like A5, just based on the description here, is going to be crazy. Now the question is, what should we run for our bow, and which skills should we level up? Honestly speaking, for the bow, if you had to level up one of its skills, it would have to be the core attack. That's the basis of its damage. The core attack goes off very smoothly, dealing a ton of damage when you consume 4 stacks. If you have it duped up, that being the advancements, but if you don't, it still deals a ton of damage. It's only a 70% damage bonus, but A5 is where you get those resets in, so things are going to get crazy, and I thought they fixed the reset issue. So let's go ahead and showcase the bow. I do want to see what it's like, and I want to jot down the damage figures, comparing at least the A0 to A1 numbers, seeing if getting the core attack up faster is better, or not of course. Though we know for a fact it will be better obviously, I'm going to put all this on a spreadsheet, that way we know how good the skill is. So let's jump into a game mode. Let's jump into a game mode, Battlefield Trials. Let's go to floor 25 for our player, Sung Jinu. Gonna jump in, and yeah, we have it equipped. We're gonna use, what artifact sets do we have? Yeah, this should be fine. I'm gonna take off Expert though, just because that'll skew our damage results, so let me change that. And this auto feature is absolutely whack. Don't use it. What is this setup? They need to change the auto equip feature. That's wild. That's wild. And I want to make sure I don't use Tusk here for the shadow. That's not a good move. So let me just go to our artifacts really quick. Sung Jinu, artifacts. Let's take off Expert, and oh my gosh, this is going to cost a ton of gold. That's okay. I'm just going to use Outstanding Connection. Doesn't really matter. We don't want bonus damage from the effect to really skew our results. So one hit kill is perfectly fine. It's not going to mess with anything, so let's equip all these. Oh, they fire damage. We don't want that. Let me swap to something else. Yeah, let's do wind damage. I don't plan on testing against wind, so that's good. And then equip whatever we can find here. There is no core attack bonuses from our artifacts. That's perfectly fine. Okay, we are good to go in that regard. So let's jump in first with Tusk off, since we get a lot of core attack bonuses from Tusk, which we don't want to have because it will skew our results. So let's just do this. That's perfect. Forum team. And we should be good to go now. Alright, we're going to jump in here, and we're going to test the bow. We're going to see what it's like using the skill, getting these stacks off, and seeing how often the core attack does come up. Again, we gain stacks by using our basic auto attacks. I'll show you here. We're going to auto attack a few times, and we'll get a stack on the third fit. There we go. That's 1 stack, and that's 2 stacks right there. The core attack is up, so let's use it. Here it comes, and wow, that was a pretty big chunk of damage. Interesting. And if we use the skill, the main skill does cause multiple stacks, so let's do that. Going to use the skill by holding it down, and instantly we got 3 stacks. That's impressive. So let's see how much damage the core attack does. I'm just going to compare it by the HP bar. It's way easier that way. Looking for the damage on multiple hit effects is not easy to do. We learned that from my previous stream. So the boss is at 92.07% HP. Let's use it here. And how much damage is that? 92.07 minus their HP, which is 88.22, which is 3.85% of their HP. Not too bad. Let's try that again. I want to see if we get a comparable number off. So let's get the core attack back up. 3 stacks are so easy to get. It's crazy. Here comes the core attack. So 84.94. And then we're going to use it here once he dashes, and 81.95. That time we got more crits off, so dealing a ton of damage. Interesting, 7%. That was no joke, folks. This bow is looking strong already at A0, and it's level 1. You have to remember, this bow is level 1 right now. It has so much potential, so much, And look at the stacks. As you're auto-attacking, you get 3 stacks up in no time. 0 time at all. Their HP was about 80%, and now it's at 77.03, so crits do make a big difference. 3% there. Just gonna do it one more time just to really get the numbers in. And using the bow skill, wow. Remember to hold it down. So many stacks there. That was crazy. This bow is looking very, very promising. Now, after this, I'm going to do a separate run. And I use the core attack without taking numbers. That's okay. We're going to do one more run, seeing how fast we can clear this boss right here. Or if we can clear it at all. And then we'll compare it to the A1 figure. And I'll use something like Plum as well, just to see what it's like. We'll use Plum Moonshadow at A0 and compare it to it. And also at A1, just to get a sense of what it's like. But, you know, it's not an apples to apples comparison, of course. Moonshadow is a different weapon compared to this, so it's not going to be a main comparable weapon. So 60.35. Here comes the core attack, and 54.65. So around 5% depending on the crits you get in. So overall, a very powerful weapon. Now, let's do a quick run. We're just going to try to beat the boss as fast as possible, just using our weapon, using Shadow Step when we can. Actually, I might not use Shadow Step, just the skill, just to make it fair. I'm assuming that's the best method, so let's just do it. We're going to hop in. Okay, here we go. Just auto-attacking what we can. RNG shouldn't matter too much. We should be good to go, getting those easy stacks in. And overall, very nice damage, I have to say. This is again at level 1 currently for the weapon, so let's just clear this and I'll hop back in once we can see how much HP we left the boss at. But I can tell you right now, the main damage source of this weapon is core attack. So using Tusk, solid foundation, that'll be your go-tos for this set, I'm assuming. And by set, sorry, I mean weapon. It'll be the ideal choice because wow, oh wow, the chunk we get from those stacks. Oh, I want this weapon to A5 ASAP. I don't think I can play the game without the A5 weapon because these chunks of damage we're doing, it's crazy. Crazy. Alright, I think I'm just going to take the 2-minute figure here, just because it's going to be redundant going all the way in. So around, let's just say 40 to 45% on the first run. We're going to retry it one more time, getting up to 2 minutes and seeing how much damage we can do. So same thing here, we got around 45%. We did get hit once or twice there, no problem. So 40 to 45, that'll be the average for the A0 version. Now let's hop back out and advance our bow and see what it's like at the A1 level because the new effect is super good. I think at A1 it's going to be a good value point. We basically get more core attacks off, which will be very nice, so let's advance it. Let me hop into our main weapon here, advance. Click this. We have to unlock, of course. Confirm, and advance. And there we go, we have it to A1. Beautiful. Perfect. And I think the weapon event is going on right now, so it'll go straight to the event. That's good. Or is it Hunter right now? Oh, we'll see. But anyways, let's go back here. So with the new effect, when we use our skill, it refreshes our core gauge much faster. So let's jump in and see what it's like. I'm going to use the skill right away, well, after dodging, of course. We do not want to get hit, and let's see how fast it refreshes it. So technically, we should get it off instantly once we use a skill. Let's see. And yeah, the core attack is up. Wow. 7% right off the bat. That's low-key crazy. Holy. This will be nice. The A1 bonus is obviously going to be one of those sweet spots. We're already almost at the damage point from before. Almost 20% down. When we use that skill, it's going to nuke. It's going to absolutely nuke. Let's see that happening one more time. So A1. Wow. This is kind of impressive. Get the core attack off. Make sure before you use your skill, get the core attack off, of course, and 76% already. We're about 35% shy of getting the 2-minute mark with no A1, just the A0 bonus, and it's looking promising, folks. I feel like A1 is going to be the point everyone should at least try to get. Okay, here we go. Use the core attack. It's off and waiting for him to dash, and then use the skill and get the core attack off again. Oh, he went invincible there. That's okay. Margin of error, of course. That's perfectly fine. But we're going to continue dishing out so much damage. I'm excited. I haven't been excited about a weapon in so long. Can you imagine, once we get some core attack damage bonuses in, how strong this weapon will be? It'll be very powerful, let me tell you. So when you use the core attack here, get it off, and then use the skill. Easy. Another stack. Oh gosh. This is crazy. This is insane. and boom. Okay, we're making good time here on the first run. Wow, the devs are doing something interesting here with these new weapons that are coming out, because this is no joke, folks. This is a lot of damage, and yeah, definitely a nice bonus. We're gonna use a skill just to be fair. And once we use a skill, 1 core attack, and we missed it, but it should be around 35%, so at least a 10% difference right there, 5 to 10%. We are going to run it back one more time just to get a better comparison. So let's do that, see what it's like, and then I'll use something like Moon Shadow just to see how it compares in terms of just raw damage, nothing fancy, not focusing on artifact sets or anything like that, just seeing how much damage we can do at a base point. And same thing here, we got around 35% on their HP, so at least a 5 to 10% gain, but again, no bonuses applied. Can you imagine how much damage we'll deal if we boost up that core attack? It would be insane. But yeah, let's just jump in with something like Moon Shadow or Plum, doesn't really matter what we choose, just seeing apples to apples. If we have a weapon at A0, what are they like? Obviously we can't do an A1, A2, A3, A4, A5 comparison. I don't have an infinite supply of weapons, that's okay. Let's just jump in with Moon Shadow, one of our stronger weapons. The base form isn't too bad, honestly, so let's just jump in, see what that's like. And honestly, jumping in, Moon Shadow doesn't feel comparable, as in Moon Shadow will probably get more damage off at maybe A3 compared to the bow. Probably not though. I mean, look at the damage here. We're hardly at 10%, and it's been almost a minute. Wow, okay, that's kind of impressive, but you have to remember, these are just direct weapon damage comparisons. We have nothing else on us, so, you know, nothing boosting this weapon, we're not using skills, etc., which can make a huge difference. This is just a raw damage result, since I know it's not comparable. Though Moon Shadow is doing okay, it's still not the same, honestly. Feel like there's a big damage discrepancy here. So it looks like with Moon Shadow, we only got them to what, around 65-ish% HP. Kind of bad if you ask me. I'm gonna do a little bit more just for sake of it. So let's say 60% HP. That's pretty bad. Okay, I'll put that down. That's about a 20% difference from the bow. Huh, is the bow just that strong? I know for a fact it felt strong. Could you imagine if we used Tusk? If we use Solid Foundation? How much stronger the bow would be? It's kind of crazy, honestly speaking, but we'll see what happens here. We're going to try again. Hopefully we get a good damage number off here to compare properly, but I don't know. It's not looking too promising. Okay, I'll cut back once we get to the 2-minute mark. And yeah, by the looks of it, it's going to be the same damage figure here. Moon Shadow at A0 just by itself, no. So that just goes to show you how strong the bow is, just raw. Raw. Nothing else on it. No bonuses, no other weapon effects being applied to it, skills, shadows, nothing. Goes to show you, it's honestly quite a strong weapon. So, I think just by looking at this alone, should it be on a rate up list? Yeah, I do think so. I'm going to try Moon Shadow A1 as well, though we know Moon Shadow, I think A3 or A5 is a point where it becomes super powerful, but the bow is no slouch either. So we'll see what it's like. Yeah, this is just ridiculous. 60% again, let's just say. So we only got 40% HP off, one with the bow. At A0, we got 60%. Oof, that's rough. So let's get Moon Shadow up to, let's say, A1. I want to also try Scythe. I'm going to hop in and give that a go as well, just to see what it's like. Scythe is a very strong weapon due to the skill effect. Very powerful. So I'll hop back in and I'll show you what that is in just a moment here. I also want to compare the new bow to the Scythe, just see what it's like, because you know with Scythe, it is one of the best weapons we have. We get dupes for it. So let's just see. At A0, how does it compare? I'm hoping for good results on the Scythe. The hold down skill is so strong. I love to see it. So I'll cut back to the damage result, just so you know exactly where we land on. So it is looking like the Scythe is going to land around the 60% mark as well. Actually, maybe a little bit better. Probably around 50 from what I'm seeing here. We'll have to see. Let's just wait for these skills to come up, and we'll cut right back. And with the final skill, we get around 57%. So 10 to 15%. Wow, let's try it one more time. I just want to really compare it. And yeah, folks, it looks like with the Scythe, we also got the same damage amount. That's okay, so around 50%. Yeah, wow. So 50 to 55% on this run. This was a good run though. I got really nice crits off, so do keep that in mind, but it looks like the bow is around 10% better. That core attack damage is going to be nuts, and if you think about it, you can just pick a different shadow, you can pick a different artifact set, and you'll get even more damage off. So with the same build, same shadow, if we were to swap it around, the bow would be much stronger. Interesting. So just as a final rundown, let's get the Moon Shadow to A1. We'll do one final test since A1 is quite strong for Moon Shadow. You get that bonus stacking effect. So let's just get it to A1 really quick and test things out. I do love Moon Shadow A1. The new stacks makes it so much nicer to deal more damage, but still, it's not looking comparable, folks. We're not doing enough damage to really make up the difference between this weapon and the bow. I feel like every time I talk, you get hit. Super annoying. Should probably stop doing that, but that's okay. That's what the error margin is for. And as we use the skill, I love the slowdown effect. Oh boy, so nice. Love that slow-mo action. But yeah, honestly, this is looking promising at all. We'll get much worse damage figures off with this weapon instead of the bow. So yeah, I do think the bow is definitely meta right now. Doesn't matter what weapon we use, because currently it might be the strongest we have. Kind of crazy to assume. And in fact, I would say our builds right now complement our other weapons way more, since the bow needs core attack damage, right? So even if we have the same artifact stats, they wouldn't affect the weapon as much as additional core attack damage would do, or additional core attack scaling, etc. So if I would have to put a judgment call on it, at least for a fact we know that A1 for the bow is quite amazing. So you should potentially add it onto your rate list, but we do always need staples like Plum, like Grimoire. These two weapons work with every weapon combination we have, providing global boosts to our weapons, so up to you. Just based on this result, I would not be surprised if the bow is the strongest weapon we have in the game right now. We know for a fact with every new weapon that comes out, there is a high likelihood it becomes the best weapon in the game, and in this case, I do think that happened. With most weapons, we get like crit damage bonuses, we get additional stacks they provide, but with the bow, we're getting that reset effect to the core attack, especially A5. We get a 100% increase to the gauge when you use either your basic attacks to regain the Firewood Soul stacks or Phoenix Rapid Fire, so that's strong. On top of the 4 stacks, we now get A3 compared to A1 and A2. It makes a difference, that'll be a lot of damage, and we get stacks even faster, so I do have to say, this looks like one of the most promising weapons to date, and with guild raid content coming out, I would not be surprised if this is the weapon you need to be successful, so you can wait a little longer until we get more testing in on further advancements, but from the A1 and A0 point, it is probably the strongest weapon we have, so potentially a free-to-play player's dream. So if you enjoyed, drop your like, and if you want more content like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel, that way I know you want me to keep things up. This was Zaf signing out.